Ndị be anyị ekenekwanụ m unu. Asị m ka ụbọchị nke taa mara na anyị mma. Asị m ka nke onye chikwara ya zelu. Dịka o si dị ife a bụ Eastern News 24 bụ ebe anyị si were wetara ya bụ nnukwu ozi dị oke mkpa. One bụ gbasata maka nnwere onwe ndị Igbo na-azọ ana gbasata maka ife na-eme na obodo a bụ Nigeria. Dịka o si dị ife nwanne anyị kwuru maka Mazi Nnamdi Kanu bụ the leader of indigenous people of Biafra. O kwuru okwu a na press conference emelu ajụgasịrị efe dị iche iche. Nwanne m kwuru okwu gbasata maka Buhari, the former president, Muhammadu Buhari, na ndịka obi ọjọọ and hatred o nwere. Ọ kpọrọ ya ancient hatred Buhari wee ebe ndị Igbo nọ merenụ o ji jide Mazi Nnamdi Kanu n'iru akwụkwọ. Ụkwasịkwara okwu dị iche iche, ụkwasịkwara okwu dịka okwukwasịrị okwu dị iche iche buru ibu. Ihe o kwuru edika, mana mma chọkwa unu ga ya bụ ife ụmụnne m, unu ga-esia ya unu atie alụ nke unu gbasata maka ihe ndị a niile kwesịrị n'elu akwụkwọ. Anyị ka na-echetakwara azụ ka anyị kọwara ya bụ ife. All right, over to you.
Carrying two hats. I'm speaking on behalf of Nnamdi Kanu. I'm also speaking on my own behalf. My name is Aloy Ejiofor. I'm the special counsel to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the indigenous people of Biafra. And I'm speaking to you from a location in Nigeria. The man, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, is well known. He's everywhere. He's on Wikipedia. He's an internationally acclaimed freedom fighter. But there's just a few things I need to tell you about him. What brought him to limelight was the formation of the indigenous people of Biafra in the United Kingdom in 2012. Simultaneously, he also founded Radio Biafra. And these two organizations were aimed at one thing: liberation for the people of Biafra, or restoration of the former Republic of Biafra that went defunct in 1970. The right to self-determination is a right that is guaranteed internationally, domestically, and continentally. It's within the black letters of Nigerian law at Article 20 of the African Charter on Human and People's Rights. The right to self-determination is guaranteed. So the formation of IPOB did not break any law. Not laws of United Kingdom, not international law, not Nigerian law. But guess what? When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who was born in Nigeria, but who acquired British citizenship later on, came to Nigeria in October 2015, the government of President Muhammadu Buhari, which had come to power in May, decided to arrest him. He was not arrested between 2012 and 2015 because the government of the day at that time understood that self-determination is not a crime. But the government that came into power in 2015 in May decided that self-determination is going to be treated as a criminal activity. So he was arrested in Lagos. He was charged for treason, also for insulting the president and illegal importation of radio equipment. 3 charges. The treason one, they split it into 2: treason by himself and treason by conspiracy. This thing went on from 2015 until April 2017, when he was eventually granted bail. So he was detained for nearly 18 months. After granting him bail, he returned to his ancestral home in the southeastern part of Nigeria, and he was enjoying his bail when suddenly, between 10 September and 14 September 2017, the Nigerian army, without any justification whatsoever, levied lethal, massive military operations against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's ancestral home. That day, he was sitting at home with so many people, his family members, including his 2 elderly parents. The attack was lightning, it was obliterative, it was massive, and it was not the type of an attack you will expect a national military force to levy on a civilian location. But they did. At the end of the day, 28 people lost their lives. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu sustained injuries. His parents sustained injuries as well, but somehow, by the grace of God, they all managed to escape. From there, the rest is history. And because there was a national and international manhunt for him by the security forces, which rules of engagement was to shoot, not to maim. If you see Nnamdi Kanu, if you encounter him anywhere, shoot not to maim, but shoot to kill. That's what they went there to do on 10 September, but they didn't succeed. But they went on in a manhunt. So Nnamdi Kanu was forced to flee the municipal boundaries of Nigeria in search of safe haven overseas. Eventually, in May 2021, he settled in Kenya. He entered Nairobi and settled in Kenya somewhere. He never knew that Nigerian security forces, the international branch of it, were laying in wait for him. They laid an ambush for him. So on 19th June 2021, he drove himself to Jomo Kenyatta International Airport on a personal errand. As soon as he drove into the parking lot and alighted from his vehicle, several well-armed security men suspected to be of a mixture of Nigerian and Kenyan security forces swooped on him, grabbed him, abducted him, and put him forcibly in a vehicle and drove away. Well, they didn't take him to the police station. They didn't take him to immigration because he was a foreigner. He should have been taken to immigration. They didn't take him to any official law enforcement facility. They took him to a secret location in Nairobi, a non-official secret location. So in effect, they disappeared him. And they kept him at that secret location for a whole 8 days. And those 8 days he endured horrendous torture. All these are matters of record between the various tribunals and courts before whom this matter has been brought. I cannot begin to give you all the details. Horrendous torture in violation of basic human rights, in violation of the laws of Kenya, Nigeria, and the international community. When Nnamdi Kanu was abducted on 19th June 2021, the proper thing that should have been done is to take him to a police station, from there to a court. And then if you wanted him back in Nigeria, you subject him to what is called extradition proceedings. This is a basic tenet of the law that you see in the laws of any nation. Kenya has an extradition act to which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should have been subjected. But guess what? They didn't do that. They rather disappeared him for 8 days, tortured him to their heart's content. And on 27th June, they secretly brought him out from this location and took him through the back doors, evading Kenyan immigration, direct to the tarmac of Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, Nairobi, where a private plane was waiting. They bundled him into the plane, chained him to the chair, and everything. He endured 5-6 hours flight from Nairobi to Kenya in the most excruciating circumstances. They arrived in Nigeria late in the evening and the plane flew back to Nairobi. They took him to the headquarters of the National Intelligence Agency in Abuja, where he spent the first night with all the lights left on to assure his maximum discomfort. The following day, they transferred him to the headquarters of Director of State Security in Abuja. And on the third day, they brought him before the Federal High Court in Abuja. The Federal High Court was well aware that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has cancel of record. It was an open case, it wasn't a new case, a pre-existing case. but the Federal High Court decided to conduct the arraignment in violation of his constitutional right to counsel, and that arraignment led to the indefinite detention with which we are struggling today. Anyways, taking you back a few steps, the little military invention of 2017 was not unrequited, judicially speaking. I took the matter before two tribunals, or a tribunal and a court. First, I took it to the African Commission on Human and People's Rights, which rendered a decision in March 2018 condemning the action and calling it a violation of the African Charter. And they wrote to the President of Nigeria, they wrote a letter to the President of Nigeria requesting him or directing him. They used diplomatic language, but the decision was there that what you did is wrong, so you need to roll it back. You need to reverse everything you have done, which includes declaration of IPOB as a terrorist organization and hounding their members as criminals. The African Commission held that what Nigerian government was doing was persecution, not prosecution. That the IPOB and its members simply possess an inconvenient political opinion which the Nigerian government was seeking to suppress by means of punishment of some sort. And they asked or directed Nigerian government to reverse itself. Nigerian government never did, rather it escalated. Well, subsequently, I went to a local court, a high court in Abia State in eastern Nigeria. I sued the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Nigerian Army, and other parties who were confederates in that attack of September 2017. And in January 2022, fortunately for us, we won. The High Court made an order. The High Court reached a judgment that what happened to Nnamdi Kanu in September 2017 was a flagrant violation of his constitutional right to life and constitutional right to his privacy. And the court proceeded to make an order ordering the federal government of Nigeria, or Federal Republic of Nigeria, to pay him a compensation of 1 billion Nigerian naira, which is over $1 million US. The court also ordered the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the President of Nigeria to issue a public apology to be published in 3 national Nigerian newspapers to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. None of this has happened. So we kept that aside. So when they brought Mazi Nnamdi Kanu forcibly from Kenya without extradition proceedings, I characterized it an act of extraordinary rendition. Initially, there was a misunderstanding, a broad, widespread misunderstanding by vast majorities of Nigerians who were mouthing the cliche, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu extradited from Kenya. No, that was wrong. It wasn't. I told people it wasn't. It was extraordinarily renditioned or rendered, and that is against international law, Kenyan law, and laws of the Federation of Nigeria. So while his criminal trial was making its way slowly at Abuja, with all the several amendments the government was bringing, they walked away from treasonable felony, insulting the president, importation of radio equipment, and bomb to terrorism. That's how it happened, and they did this 7 times, 7 amendments. If Nnamdi Kanu was guilty, why is it taking so long to bring him to trial between 2015 and today? That is 8 years. So what is undergoing is not really a judicial trial. It's a trial by ordeal, trial by fire, imprisonment before conviction. They just want to get as many years of jail time out of him as possible, because they know that with the evidence available, conviction will be impossible. And that was made worse by the extraordinary rendition, which I took also as a civil violation. to a federal high court in Nigeria. And in October 2022, the federal high court came down with a judgment that extraordinary rendition was a violation of his constitutional rights, his fundamental rights, and they awarded him 500 million Nigerian naira. That's about $800,000. So all around, everywhere that this matter has gone to, including in July 2022, before the Human Rights Council at the United Nations, the Human Rights Council, United Nations, came down with an opinion that what happened to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Kenya and that brought him to Nigeria is a very grave violation of international law, and they directed that he should be released unconditionally. And of course, the Court of Appeal in Nigeria did come down with a similar judgment in same October 2022, discharging Mazi Nnamdi Kanu of all charges and bearing any further trial of his person in any court in Nigeria as a consequence, as a direct consequence of the extraordinary rendition. So what more can you ask for a man to deserve his freedom? How many have I counted? United Nations, which in this case should be considered a world court. Then you have the Nigerian Court of Appeal, which is the second highest court in the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Then you have the Federal High Court, which is the court of first instance at the federal level. And of course, you have the State High Court that awarded him a billion Nigerian naira. So between 2015 and today, 8 years and running, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has snagged 4 major victories against the Federal Republic of Nigeria, with Federal Republic of Nigeria winning nothing. What more do you need as stark evidence, affirmative evidence that what is happening here, ladies and gentlemen, is an act of persecution, not prosecution? It's time to end it. On his behalf, I will ask all men and women of goodwill everywhere in the world to speak up. There was this saying about Jews. When they came for the Jew, you said nothing. When they came for the Jew, you said nothing because you're a trade unionist. Then when they came for the trade unionist, you say, well, I'm a scientist. You said nothing. They took the Jew, they took the trade unionist. And then when they came for the scientists, nobody spoke for you. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a poster boy for all the injustices that a great race, the Igbo people, and their cousins in the former eastern Nigeria have been subjected to since the founding of Nigeria. These injustices became more public because since 2015 they have been escalated. So how do you fight back? You fight back by telling the system, I want out. I want my own country is not a crime. It does not require a bullet. It doesn't require muscular military law enforcement. What it requires is sitting across the table and talking about it. A lot of nations have been founded on referendum. That's what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and the indigenous people of Biafra were asking for, that led to all this conundrum, to all this saga.
Ndị be anyị daalụ niile nụ Igbo ọma na-ege ntị. Kunu si wee na-esoro anyị anyị na-eme n'elu akwụkwọ na Eastern News 24 bụ ebe anyị si wee na-ewutere unu ya bụ nnukwu ozi, ya bụ nnukwu ọgbasa ozi dị oke mkpa gbasara maka ala Igbo na gbasara maka ihe na-eme na obodo anyị nọ n'ime ya. Dịka o si dị, unu anụgonu ka ya bụ ife si wee gaa, unu anụgonu ka ya bụ ife si wee na-akpọtụ, ọ na-anụgonu ihe nwanne anyị kwuru gbasara maka mmegbu a na-emegbu ndị Igbo anabata maka mmekpa alụ a na-eme ndị Igbo. O were ajụ ọ jụrụ n'iru akwụkwọ wutere m. Ọ sị, ọsọsọ Maazị Nnamdi Kanu bụ onye izizi of freedom fighters? The answer is no. Sunday Igboho zọrọ. The way esi wee treat Sunday Igboho dị iche. So many other people. Asali Dokwa Ụbọ, Niger Delta Region. The way esi wee treat fa dị iche. Kezi maka ndị Igbo. O kwuru okwu gbasara maka ndị okenye anyị ji eme ọnụ bụ our elite je visit former president bụ ebesara fa akwa. Even o kwuru okwu maka ịnụ ihe okwu maka iwu anyanwụ. O yọrọ Buhari dị ntamu n'oche ya kpọọ ya Maazị Nnamdi Kanu. O treshi ya dị okwu. Amaechi bụ former aviation minister Mbazirike Amaechi, nna anyị before ya nwụọ, o jekwuru president si ya kpọọ ya Nnamdi Kanu. Ọ bụrụ ya bụ the last wish ọ ga-emeri ya. Ọnụ na watch na afụ na the hatred dị too much. And the ajụ anyị na-ajụ wee sị, ị ga-ehate mmadụ wee lapụ isi ya gabala onwe ya? One bụ nwere ihe ndị Igbo na-benefit from Nigeria. No, take it or you leave it. Ka anyị kwuo okwu dịka o si dị. Ndị Igbo is not benefiting anything from the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We are the one that hustle on our own. And anyị wabụ na-agba mbọ n'isi onwe anyị to sustain our families and ihe ọbụla dị iche iche anyị na-eme. So I form the reason a ga-eji bụrụ onye Igbo bụ the problem. Ọ bụ ebe ihe na control the economy. Mere economy adịlọ mma. I form the reason o ji bụrụ onye Igbo. Maka na unu gee ntị. Oge Nnamdi Kanu first time ejidere na 2017 ewere release ya. There is something solist gasị n'elu akwụkwọ bụ ọgwa Nigerian government. If you only you can build second Niger bridge, give me 24 hours electricity and build good hospital. That Noga. Then seaport, Noga equity agitation. Then now the question, Boro, if any now who could one boy normal government could see many the people. Otenico Bapu million yoko, new zo, new good hospital, new seaport. Then here Mazi Nnamdi Kanu demanded, is he a very big tax for the Federal Republic of Nigeria to do? The answer is no. The problem is he traded there. No, it would have been the bono. So maka ndị ekwu okwu akịta maka onye Igbo ga na ebe ọ nọ si na Maazị Nnamdi Kanu amali ihe ọ na-eme. O mara ihe ọ na-eme. Ihe ọ na-eme bụ ka ọ dịrị gị na mma, ka ọ dịrị ụmụ anyị ya amụ echi na mma. Akwụ na aghọta. Then ke the benefit ndị Igbo ritego na Nigeria nọ n'ime, ke the benefit. So asọmkono sam ya bụ ife. Akwụ na aghọta. Because o nwere ka esi kwubezi okwu ọ dị ka anyị wabụ problem. Akwasịgo na Igbo ama nchi. Good and fine. Gịnị na-eme kịta? Mmiri na-ejuzi awụ ọnụ. Ndị na-ekwe ha ọ na-ekwetezi na ọ na-eme. Ka edozi obodo ka obodo dịrị onye ọbụla na mma. The group of people, bụ a few people say no. That onye ọbụla ga-anọ inspire. Not me, not ndị Igbo. So onye Igbo agbagori mbọ. Ọzọ afịa pụta kama onye awa isi ọpịrị gị na expenses ma goo ya. Iwere option. Ihe egekwu ya. Maka na iwere option ihe ege ya. So ya bife abụrụ ife a na-ekwu ya. So eji m ojere a na-akpọkwa ndị ọrụ n'okwu onye ọbụla tinye ọnụ kwube maka Maazị Nnamdi Kanu kededizi ya. Maazị Nnamdi Kanu emela alụ. Ogburo mmadụ nwere ihe o mere. Also his only crime bụ ọ chọrọ ka obodo ya dị mma. Ọ chọrọ ka Igbo dị mma. Nye na ụmụnne ya ọkụ. Nye na ya good road. Nye na ya good electricity. Nye na ya good hospital. Nye na ya so many things bụ ma seaport. Ihe niile anyị fụrụ obodo a dị mma. O nwere most things dị na ya. Ka ịgwa na ụwa ya eziokwu. Maazị Nnamdi Kanu na-achọkwanụ tigbuo ma zọgbuo. Mana ife a na-emezi ndị Igbo meziri ọ na-ewute. Onye Igbo ga-atụ afịa jee gbaa ya na Lagos mana iwe seaport here. Onye Igbo bụ the main person nwere ike control the economic system of Nigeria. Take it or you leave it. It's an Igbo man. And the more you are shining away from it, the more the problem. anyị na-enwe na this country. Give an Igbo this economy now for pịatuo dollar na dollar abụrụ mmiri ọnwụ. But they will not do it. They know, but due to the hatred, then apụzienu ndị ahụ na-enye hatred ka fa na mba ka ama nna ọ gwụna ka ọha m n'ọnụ ụmụnne m. Darụrụ niile kwusi na-esore na Eastern News 24 maka nkwuwe ka ọha m n'ọnụ chi ga-eji. Ọ na-ewute mana asị m ejikwa m ohere a na-ashat out for our new fans and our new subscribers na Chukwu oke na egosi niile gba mbọ kwunu na-achị ya ihe a ka ọ na-edute ụmụnne anyị ndị ọzọ ntị ka ha na-anụ ife na-emenụ akwụnụ na-aghọta. Gbanụ mbọ kwunu na-eti ya n'iru akwụkwọ kwunu na-achị ya ka o rutegasị ụmụnne anyị ntị ka ha mara ihe na-emenụ ka a mara oge mmiri ji wee baa opi ụgbọgọrọ. Darụrụ nne subscribe and turn on the notification. Also, join our membership to support us on Eastern News 24 because all anyị na-alụ is encouragement too. Ngwa darụ nne ụmụnne m asị m ka Chukwu abịa ma dịrịnụ mma na Eke, dịrịnụ mma na Nkwọ, tụkwazịrịnụ mma na Orie, tụkwazịrịnụ mma na Afọ. Ise.